Hey, what's up everyone on YouTube and Twitter? So in the most recent video that I had posted last week, we had discussed how the bulls had retaken control of Bitcoin when they broke back above this major resistance area. This was around $9,200. It was reclaimed on the weekly time frame, and the bulls were able to retake it at that point. And then from there, we noted that Bitcoin was consolidating, which meant in a consolidation, it favors a continuation. And now we have gotten that continuation. Bitcoin has broken upward and has broken through $100,000 tonight. And now if we look at the resistances that Bitcoin has gotten through and what it has left to get through to get back to the all-time highs, it was able to get through the 99.5K resistance tonight. And the next resistance lies up here. This is around approximately 103,000, which is where it currently is testing up to. It actually traded above that. It went nearly up to $104,000. So this resistance area is essentially the last resistance for Bitcoin to get back to the all-time highs. So we will see if it ends up pushing up here, but it is very, very much favorable that Bitcoin will test up to these all-time highs at some point, and if not, break it. The one thing that we have to just watch out for, which is the weekly RSI, you go to the weekly time frame, it currently is making a lower high currently while the price is close to making a higher high. So that's something to watch out for in the future. If we see Bitcoin start to break to new highs, maybe it goes up to 120, 130, but the RSI is not breaking higher than this previous high, then there is potential bearish divergence that could eventually form if Bitcoin were to pull back and then drag the RSI down with it. But for now, we're not there yet. We will see what the RSI does. If the RSI can break higher than this previous high, then Bitcoin could really go much, much higher, maybe up to 150, 160. Just crazy numbers would then come into play if the RSI actually got above this level, because it would negate any potential weekly bearish divergence in the future. But regardless of that, the bulls are currently in control of Bitcoin's price, and this is likely going to test up back to the all-time highs. And then from there, we will see if it ends up breaking out to new all-time highs or if it makes a pullback first before then breaking out to new all-time highs. But I do believe that Bitcoin will see new all-time highs probably in this quarter, actually. By the end of June, I actually do think that there's a high chance that Bitcoin will end up breaking through these highs. Now, if you enjoy my content, I do have a Patreon. I post videos there frequently. I've gone over a bunch of alts over the past week or so that have broken up against Bitcoin. The most latest one we covered about 2 days ago, it was MOG. Ended up breaking upwards 60% over the past 2 days, and that was because it broke out against Bitcoin. So if you are interested in Patreon, it can be found in the YouTube description as well as my Twitter bio. It also gives you access to the Discord. It's a private Discord, and I am able to answer your questions quite fast on there. So if you have any questions, I will answer them on there. I also have referral links for both Coinbase and Gemini. Both are US-based exchanges. If you trade $100 on Gemini, you get $75 in the crypto of your choice. So now we go to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has been a massive uptrend for the past few years, and it is pulling back today. But for me at this point, the only way to confirm that Bitcoin dominance is probably topped would be to make a lower low below this 60% level. And for now, it currently sits around 64.3%, so it's not close. But if it ever made a lower low below 60%, then I would be confident that the dominance top is then in. And of course, a lot of this just comes down to Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest crypto behind Bitcoin. It's the largest altcoin. And if Ethereum starts to get going here, it can help push Bitcoin dominance down significantly. And if we look at this Ethereum chart, Ethereum right now is having a major breakout and reclaim of this breakdown. This was a significant area around approximately 2100. And today, Ethereum moved up significantly, closed above that resistance, but I would want to see it close a weekly candle above this area, especially if it can also get above approximately 2200 as well, where it's currently testing up to. It's currently actually above 2200. If it can close above this area on the weekly time frame, then the bear market that Ethereum has essentially been in since this top back here in March of 2024 is probably over, right? This would be a major reclaim of a major breakdown zone. I think Ethereum would then at least want to start to push back up and then test up to this next resistance, which lies around approximately $2,800. If it were able to then push through that as well, they would have a great shot to then push up to the 2024, 2025 highs up here. And then from there, maybe one day get back up to the all-time highs. But for now, it has a lot of work to do, but it is working on a reclaim of this breakdown. So we will watch to see how this weekly candle ends up closing for Ethereum. It would be significant. I do think that if Ethereum reclaims this, then it would essentially mean that the risk will want to return. I think a lot of alts will continue to move. A lot of alts are already moving, but I think we will see even more upward price movement for a lot of altcoins if Ethereum is able to reclaim this, because it then would put more pressure on Bitcoin dominance, which in general helps the altcoins. And lastly, now, if we go to the stock market, we'll go to the S&P 500. Another thing to watch here for the S&P 500 is a reclaim of its breakdown. So this was the breakdown for the S&P 500. This is around 57.78. If it can reclaim this on a weekly close at some point, then it is likely that the S&P 500 will push back up to these highs and then probably go to new all-time highs at some point. But for now, we will wait to see if it can end up reclaiming this on a weekly candle close. Tomorrow, the weekly closes, so maybe tomorrow it ends up pushing up to this level. Maybe not. We will end up seeing. If it does, it would be a great sign. And I do think it would give a lot of confidence to the crypto market. Obviously, right now, the crypto market is seeing a boost of confidence, but I think we will see even more further confidence if the stock market, the S&P 500, reclaims this breakdown zone. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitter, make sure to follow me on YouTube as well. I will see you guys in the next video.